The season started off so well. Really felt like the team turned a corner, especially with our new generational quarterback in James Cody. We started off with what was maybe like a 7-1 kind of stretch, and then we've dropped 4 consecutive games. Half of which were really close games. Against the Giants, we made things interesting. Against the Cowboys, arguably should have won, but a late game aggressive decision cost us that win. But then against the Falcons and against the Panthers, we just have not performed very well. We have the chance here against the Giants to try to correct things. Now, we played against the Giants very recently, just 2 games ago, granted 3 weeks because we had the bye week. But in that last game, it was close. We had a chance on the last play of the game to find a touchdown. We had our tight end, Alton Campbell, was wide open, but we missed it. The pass was just a little bit high. He didn't really try to grab it, and we lost 35-28. But the main problem in that game and in most of these losses, even in some of our wins, has been turnover. James Cody has had a lot of turnovers, and it's not all entirely his fault. Some of the passes are bad, but also some just really not getting much help. So in the first Giants game, he had 3 interceptions. And did he have any fumbles? He did. He had 1 fumble. So that's been a problem. 4 turnovers in 1 game from 1 player. It's really hard to come back from. And in the meantime, we've made some changes to the team as well. We brought in a new safety that we saw last episode, and he didn't have the best first game performance. But we're going to continue to give him a chance out there, see what he could do, as well as continue to let Christian Harris at linebacker start. He has the best man coverage of our linebackers, so hopefully that'll help us out. And against Saquon Barkley, who does get involved in the passing game, we're really going to need to see him come through for us. So against the Giants, just try to stay close, keep up with the Cowboys as much as possible. They're 2 games ahead of us. We have them in week 18, which is going to be here sooner than we probably realize. So we need to get back on track, need to get back in the win column. It's been 4 games. Let's right the ship. And it will be the defense to set the tone for us as we get this one kicked off through the back of the end zone, actually off the crossbar. Bounces back in, and a weird camera guy there. But Justin Herbert, the quarterback for the Giants, he hasn't had the best season. 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. We know we could get away with a lot when facing Herbert, but obviously he has a lot of guys around him. Saquon Barkley is going to be a threat in both the run and the passing game, as he does get the first play here, cuts back towards the middle and actually gets a decent gain. Was hoping that we would have had a better pursuit there from Davis Gaither, but Saquon still manages to pick up 7 as they come out empty here on 2nd and 3. We're going to bring the blitz, try to get back there quickly. Shaka Tony, second play of the game, will be a sack, losing all 7 of those yards. If I'm remembering correctly, that sack already puts him into the 20s in terms of sacks this season. I want to say that was 20 and a half, maybe more, as a pass across the middle. Nice hands there from number 17, squeezes it. Is that McLaurin? No, Robinson. Just can never remember what team McLaurin ended up going to. But great hands there from the receiver. It was tight coverage from Mullen, just wasn't able to knock it free as they hand this one off. Saquon to the outside, bounces back towards the middle. There's a tackle from Harris. He's definitely a work in progress. He has some raw skills that we've seen actually work out pretty well for us, and hopefully we'll see that trend continue. As a read option, bouncing to the outside, Herbert has some space before getting caught up. Number 22, that is the safety in Jamar Johnson. He's primarily played free safety, but with the addition to JT Woods, moved him over to strong safety, and he's done a fairly decent job with it. There's a good pursuit angle there from Davis Gaither. Will get us tackle in the backfield against the backup running back. If we could just do that against Saquon, would go a lot longer, a lot better for us. Another read option with a couple guys there, and Cashman gets the tackle for a loss. He's been a really good linebacker for us when he goes on a blitz, but besides that, especially this year, he hasn't been fantastic, and that's kind of why he's lost his starting role as a sack comes in. Mike Dana from the right-hand side of the defensive line. First time we've seen him back there in quite a while. He's getting the start once again as Shaka Toney also back there. But it was a good drive from the defense. Gave up some yards, but overall got the job done. Now we need James Cody to do that, and clearly his turnover to touchdown ratio needs vast improvement. But that's really, it just has to come from all over the team here. We can't really have just Cody trying to do it. We need the rest of the offense to step up, and honestly, the running backs like Borghi can really help us out. He's been a solid staple of our offense ever since day one, and in recent weeks, the running game has honestly not worked all too well as it opens a lane here. Great job from, I believe it was that center left guard combo opened up that lane. But we could just have that continue with some solid rushing, quick passing as well. I think we will have a much better moving offense as we go with 3 straight runs all to Borghi. And with that, we'll send Borghi off the field as Turbin checks in, dropping down to the pistol look. We'll hand it off down the middle and breaks first contact, but not getting very far off of it. Thibodeau able to knock Turbin just a little bit too far off his feet, wasn't able to recover. We'll go with the pass to the outside, gonna find Justin Ross, but it might have actually been a loss on the play plus a flag. End up calling holding there on Andre James, the center. Giants elect to decline, and on 4th and 4, I'm inclined to go for it. Again, we need to get some wins, and the only way we're going to do that is with some first downs as Osborne barely beats the defender. Not a good block, but a great angle from Osborne, and on 4th and 4, we're going to add 6 to the board. First team to put points on it as we convert on 4th down and a whole lot more. Just a great pass there from Cody, just far enough away to where the corner there, 24, couldn't really see who it was, just wasn't able to knock it away. The rest is history. Now the first drive for the Giants wasn't all too bad. They found some plays that worked out well for them, got some chunks here and there, but where they struggled was stopping the defensive line, which isn't something that we've really had to say all too often as they go with another read option. Davis Gaither reads it, and we'll get the stop after just 3. But the D-line really helped us out, as including the linebackers as well. They pursued pretty well, especially Cashman, like previously mentioned. He helps out a lot on blitzes. It's just everywhere else, he's kind of been a little bit of a liability, as Johnson will get the tackle. Allows a couple extra after the original contact was made. But on 3rd and 1, it'll allow at least a chance here to get off the field as they do go with the pass. We bit on the run. And there goes Smith-Schuster all the way down inside the 20, inside the 5, angling out, and will level it. He had a touchdown in the first matchup. He answers back very quickly on a 3rd and short. Well, the scouting report told us 3rd and short, they're going to run it. They clearly did their own homework, went with a different play, and it worked out very much in their favor as Justin Ross doesn't hold on to it. Also ends up being the last play of the first quarter as we start the second, and that's just kind of been the problem with the receivers this year, is that when we have those one-on-one shots, we're just not coming down with it. So we could find some ways to clean those up, start getting those plays. I think the offense is going to move a lot more smoothly as Tyler Huntley actually checks in here on 3rd and 4. Setting up the read option. We'll hand this one off. Borghi with a nice little spinning juke. We'll get the first down right by Dexter Lawrence. In recent weeks, trying to work out a package essentially for Huntley to just get James Cody off the field for certain plays here and there. Essentially just trying to keep his stamina up as there's a nice pass. Will find Justin Ross, stays in bounds, not going to get much after the catch, but a nice chunk play down to the 30. And with that, they oddly bring down the safety. Kind of makes me want to check out of this play. And actually, that one looks pretty good. If we could get KJ Osborne deep down the middle, which looks like we will. How does that keep getting intercepted? Osborne had the advantage, had the break, multiple yards of separation, but a heck of a play by the trailing corner. Just makes up the ground, and he gets the pick down at the 3. I mean, plays like that, you have to come away with the ball, or at least just a simple incompletion. And it's been those kind of plays that really have cost us, those turnovers, where it should be massively in our favor, somehow swing the opposite way and makes it difficult to recover from. Saquon stuffed at the line. Shaka Toney actually loss of 2. I'd definitely say this year Shaka Toney stepping up in the rushing department, helping, just shed the blocks, get the stops here and there, which has primarily been what our DTs have been looking for. Great tackle again on the outside. Was that Henderson? That's at least who's going to get credit for it. Pretty sure it was Henderson. He plays on the outside. Great open field tackle. Shaka Toney not back for a second. And Slayton finds the open space. Amadi just hasn't been great in man coverage this year. Which, honestly, is a little disappointing because last year I felt like Amadi was a really solid slot corner for us. I felt like he solidified his role there, but this year hasn't been terrific. Nice tackle there. Shaka Toney will limit the gain, only 5. Yeah, just trying to work out a nice even split here with our defensive play calling, whether it goes to zone or man, as our outside guys are primarily man cover, but the linebackers in the slot corner, definitely not man cover guys. We're trying to improve that with Harris, who is in on another stop and limits it to at least just 3 yards that they need here on 3rd down. See if we do better than the last 3rd and short as they dump this one off to their tight end, and they do squeeze out enough yards. It was tight, but they say Davis Gaither just a little bit too slow to get the stop. They give him the 1st down by inches. Hand this one off. Saquon down the middle, who will fight through a tackle and actually gain 9 on what should have been about a 3, maybe 4-yard gain. And the most annoying part was that was probably the biggest defensive line we've sent out in this game, as they do convert the short down in distance. With a 1st down, they come out empty, though. Let's check out of the original blitz we had dialed up. Pass to the outside, just a fantastic throw. We'll find Smith-Schuster down to the 25, which also finds us into the 2-minute warning. It's been a back-and-forth game, and it's going to look like, at least for the first half, Giants might pull ahead here. They're at least in field goal range. Going to force a turnover here for the defense to make anything happen, but great throw on the outside will get at least the 2 yards. Herbert has yet to miss a throw, completing 8 of his 8 passes. As we go with the pass right across the middle. Decent stop there from Harris. Tried to set up the double-A gap blitz, but hasn't quite worked besides the 1st sack earlier on in the game. We'll drop into coverage on 3rd down, but just the trailing receiver just continues to be open. This defense is at its best when it can force oppositions into a 3rd and at least medium, because the shorts, they continue to be open even when we focus on covering those short routes. That is the game plan this week, was to cover the shorts to also help with the rushing game. But it's the rushing game that puts them ahead here. Inside the 2-minute warning, inside 1 minute left in the first half, Saquon makes it 14-7. Now, one stat I would love to see is points off of turnovers, given up and for, right? Because with how many turnovers we've given up on offense, I'm sure our defense has allowed a lot of points off of that, which might just really be the difference in a lot of these games. As we're going to go to the inside here, it's just the same thing over and over again. One-on-ones, although this time it might be a lot worse. Alton Campbell, though, will get the tackle, and it's, maybe good he did. Either way, they still have a chance to get another touchdown before half, but it's just these one-on-ones that continually go against us. This time going deep to Julio. We throw it to the inside. He had the inside leverage, and the receivers just don't seem to care. So once again, this defense in a difficult spot. 40 seconds left, 2 timeouts for the Giants, and they could easily make this a 2-score game right before half. Although the sack coming in from the middle, number 90, Marlon Davidson, getting the sack, and will at least drop him back to the 13. Only 1 timeout now remains, with a pass across the middle going back to that tight end, who will pick up a few. Now they do not elect to use their timeout. Having under 15 seconds left here, they can maybe get a few more yards or a touchdown perhaps, as there comes almost a sack from Shaka Toney, looking for his 3rd, actually forces the 1st incompletion of the day. So instead of a touchdown, will be at least a field goal attempt, still making it a 2-score game, as definitely not getting around the corner anywhere in time. Giants further their lead up to 10. Luckily though, we'll have halftime here to try to regroup. Down 10 points, we do get ball to start, so we could at least narrow the deficit. But the turnovers are killing us on deep throws. So I think we just have to get rid of the deep passes in this offense. Clearly not working. Let's keep things short. A big game here as Dallas takes on Philly. Really need Philly to come through for us. It's a close matchup, 9-7, Cowboys up. As for the next game, really not much to look at for our division because we've already seen all division foes. Jaguars, though, they're up against the Bills, 28-7. Jaguars 7-5 currently, Bills at 500. And for the last update, NFC North matchup, Packers taking on the Bears 7-3 a little bit before half. Packers under 500. They no longer have their superstar, their Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Bears with Fields are at 9-3. But as we focus back into our matchup, as mentioned, we do get ball, will be a touchback. Can we move the ball steadily here, taking away the deep pass? Couldn't tell you the numbers, but maybe some of you guys might know. Where are our interceptions coming from? Are they on the deep passes? Are they on the short passes? That one almost got knocked free, and I was honestly worried that they were going to say that that was a backwards pass and a fumble, because that would be our luck. As we hand this one off, Borghi will pick up a handful, about 4 yards on second. And on 3rd and 6, they come out with a double A gap look. We have an option to go out wide, and that might just be where we go. Told him to throw it. Apparently didn't want to. So it ends up being a very quick first possession of offense, as the Giants can take the field after the punt. This offense isn't working as well as I was really hoping it would. So maybe time for another change in terms of scheme. Sticking with some short, quick throws. That part of the playbook seems to work well. But past that, the college style hasn't really worked out all too well this season. So we might need to change things up. They go with their own screen pass. We'll pick up a few yards, a gain of 3. And on 3rd and 7, they'll spread out with 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Saquon in the backfield as they maybe make a hot route or an audible. Honestly, not quite sure. Dump this one out to Saquon, who steps out. Will be a loss of 1. And a defense at least will force a punt as well. So as we get started on our second possession here, let's go back to what works. Borghi running has been pretty solid for us. 7 rushes, 57 yards. Let's just continue to feed him. We'll come out with some RPOs as well. We just need to be cautious about taking them, as Borghi does get just enough space down the middle. Dexter Lawrence almost blew that play up, but Billy Price able to hold on just long enough. Now obviously with an X-factor quarterback, a generational quarterback, I don't want to lose all passing game. I'm more thinking it's the receivers. Besides Osborne, I'm just not thinking they have it in them to run the kind of offense I'm trying to have us run. As we go with a sprint out and throw away late, we'll hit the turf. But on 10 passes, we've only completed 4 of them. And it's, just besides the 2 interceptions, that's just been really bad in terms of our receivers. It's not really trying to catch the ball, as Julio at least will try to get the first down for us here and succeeds very nicely. He hits that quick stop, cuts upfield, and well, we're almost to the 30. Should get inside of it here with some decent blocking, and indeed we will, down to the 24. But after a lot of heavy Borghi looks, we'll check in Turbin here, give him a few carries, see what he could do with his more so power kind of style. He's actually a little bit faster than Borghi, just doesn't have the same quickness or acceleration. So kind of makes Borghi seem faster as it opens up right down the middle. Turbin breaks the first tackle, which was at about the 10-yard line, gets to the 8. Now as we get down here, can we capitalize, make this a 1-score game in the 3rd quarter? Justin Ross playing at slot for some reason. He'll take the jet sweep with a little bit of some lead blocks, and he'll get inside the 5. And of course, whenever we do get inside the 5, we love to bring out the goal line Turbin formation. Dexter Lawrence could be a problem for us, but we actually managed that really well, and Turbin capitalizes, gets us in, not by much. But up front, the line dominated. We'll see it on the replay perhaps. I mean, you could really pick and choose any of the gaps up front. Either one you did choose, well, Turbin gets it in. And we do have an update on the Cowboys game. That one tied up 17-all. So Eagles, if they could come through for us and us get the win, that could be really big. But in order for that to happen, defense needs to get another stop here, or at most give up a field goal. Would prefer to get the stop though. 2nd and 5, making an audible here as they send Smith-Schuster to the right slot. Their fullback over to the left. They will pass from it. And has a guy open underneath. Tell the defense to protect the underneath passes, and they clearly aren't doing it. Granted, there was also quite a lot of time to throw there for Herbert, so again, need to get this defensive line moving. They were great in the first possession. Since then, they've been a little hit or miss. Good stop from Harris on the read option. And honestly, the Giants have ran more read option than we have, despite having a really good rushing quarterback. Just due to this stamina, he hasn't really been rushing as much, as we do head into the 4th quarter here with a 2nd and 9 to start it off. Now, I would imagine 4th quarter would be a Saquon Barkley type of time. So let's come out with a 52 defense, put some guys up front, at least slow him down. Johnson will come in to help get the tackle. Mullen slows him down. And on 3rd and 6, double A gap, but we're going to actually bring the safety blitz here. Just to get an extra guy around the corner perhaps, but it leaves the tight end open and a awful attempted tackle. I'm pretty sure that was JT Woods. Just continues to not really help much, and it's once again a 10-point game. Well, it's time to get this offense moving in high gear. Not a whole lot of time left in this one, as we need a lot of points and a lot of points quickly, but Borghi can't keep his feet, trips. We're going to have to run into some hurry up here while still trying to keep the short underneath passes. Again, not trusting the deep ones, although they cover those pretty well. We're going to have to roll out and throw out despite having some guys open as a flag comes in. And even with the holding call, the offensive line still didn't hold up. 2nd and 18 as we come out with a bunch to the right. Alton Campbell lone to the left. Try to roll out here, buy some time. Look for Osborne, and the pass just a little bit off. Only has that perfect accuracy while on the run when he has X Factor, and right now definitely does not have X Factor. Although we have Julio open with some space. If he could just outrun the Hopkins, and he will. Bringing this one back to a 1-score game. Defense, we need you to come through for us. That was definitely the quick score we needed. Now we just need the defense to help us out. Get the stop here, allow our offense time to drain the clock and find a touchdown late and walk away victorious. Now we talked a lot about plans of how to win games in recent games without winning them. So if we could actually do that in this one, it would be nice. No pass rush really. They're picking up really well, but Shaka Toney finally hits home. Had to go through 3 different blockers. Only picks up his 2nd? I could have sworn that would have been his 3rd. Although now that I think about it, he was in on another sack, but he didn't get the sack. So that was probably the 3rd I was thinking of. Now on 3rd and 20, they swing it out to Saquon. Safe tackle there from Mullins. Defense gets our stop. Now is the time for James Cody and Borghi as they head out together to lead this team down the field, kill time, and find a winner. I feel like this tandem could just be really good for us, even with their lower overalls, as Borghi does break to the outside, and already we're up to about the 50. 11 rushes for 91 yards, and we could already start to chew the clock a little bit here as we go with the lead read option to the outside. James Cody has the space, tried to stay in bounds, but does actually get pushed out at the 30. So unfortunately, that does stop the clock. But we're looking good. We're at a decent spot of the field here as Turbin does check in. Down the middle we go. Dexter Lawrence really hasn't had too much of an impact on this game. Gonna knock on wood. And honestly, most of the time we've ran right at him, so he's had plenty of opportunity. But the inside of this line has been really solid for us in the rushing game for years, as it continues to do well, this time in the strong stretch. Turbin does convert. Had to stretch for it a little bit on the stretch, but all works out in favor as we'll hand this one off. No read option. Wanted to hand it off, instead loss of 2. Now we haven't seen much of Bo Melton today, so let's bring him out at the slot. Send him across for the jet sweep. Borgie could help lead block for us, and he will get a nice block, setting up the outside, and Bo Melton is very close to the first, but a little bit short. But he does set us up for a 3rd and short, just inside the 2-minute warning. Still trying to kill this clock and find the late winner. Down 3 points, Turbin gets the first down. Dexter Lawrence will get the tackle, but not in time. And we just continue to let this clock rumble. Giants have all 3 timeouts, have not elected to use any of them yet, as Bodden takes the fullback dive, stumbling down to the 2. Inside a minute left, Giants still not calling their timeouts, draining this clock. 2nd and goal with a stretch to the outside. Turbin breaks the tackle and in. We take a lead finally. Since our early score in the first quarter, we finally retake a lead. 27-24. We can make it a touchdown game with the extra point here from Dicker the kicker. And it is up right down the middle. Giants have to score a touchdown with 39 seconds to win. Field goal gives them nothing. And on top of us having the say in this game, Eagles defeat the Cowboys 27-24. If we could just do our part here. Nice tackle across the middle, Davis Gaither. First timeout called for the Giants. 2 more remaining, 25 seconds on the board. Still need that touchdown. With 3 out to the left-hand side, Shakatoni quickly around the edge, but they do find Saquon. Another quick tackle, Davis Gaither. As long as we could just continue to be around the ball, get the quick tackles immediately, we should be all right. 1st and 10, waiting in the pocket, loading up, deep downfield, knocked it out of the tight end's hands. He almost caught that. Feel like it's a little early to go for the Hail Marys, but that's what they're going with, as Saquon able to kind of help out with cover. Good job there by cover, pass block. And they'll maybe have 2 more plays depending on how long they let it set up for. We'll just send everyone deep. Just swat the ball down is all you have to do. They double team Shaka and throwing it deep, knocked and caught. Number 17, but as time expires, they cannot get the timeout for 1 more play. We finally break the losing streak after 4 straight losses, get revenge against a divisional foe. It wasn't pretty. Takeaways, turnovers, still a problem for us. But the defense came up strong, the offense got the job done late, and finally we're back in the win column. And almost just as importantly as the win was itself, we are back within 1 game of the Cowboys. Again, we face them in week 18, just 4 games away. We have the Saints up next, the Buccaneers week 16, another divisional game week 17 against the Eagles, who we've had a historical, really good streak against, right? We've actually played, I think, our best games against the Eagles, so hopefully that will continue to be true. And then, as mentioned, Cowboys week 18, so a lot of important games to round out this season as we continue to push for playoff football. First time in this series. We've come a long way. Clearly still a lot of room to grow. The team's still struggling. We'll continue to tweak the offense a little bit, try to take out as much of the deep throws as possible. Still leaving in a couple here and there, but that's clearly not where this receiving core is at its best. Short, medium is our deep, really. So that's what we're going to try to stick with as we move forward. I think that might help us out. Try to get some more touchdowns on the board with James Cody throwing just to help out that touchdown interception ratio. I'm worried that with the amount of turnovers he's had this season, that when we get to the offseason, he might regress from a superstar X factor to just a superstar. So if we can finish this season out extremely strong, maybe we can course correct that a little bit and it ends up not happening. Fingers crossed. But to see if that happens, make sure you guys are subscribing if you have not already. My bear icon in the bottom right, or you could scroll down and hit the actual subscription button right next to that bell icon, which you should also hit so you're notified when this series goes live. Commanders Replacement Squad every single Monday and Thursday. We have the state-only challenge, which, not trying to spoil anything if you missed the Pacific Northwest video last Saturday, but a new state-only challenge begins on Wednesday. That series every Wednesday and Saturday. And then the FIFA 23 My Player Career every Tuesday and Friday. 6 videos every week and a whole bunch of shorts. just highlighting all the fun things happening on this channel. So a lot of content coming to you just about daily. So until next time, where we have to face a pretty good defense. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore, he can make plays. We try to continue the win streak, pull back maybe even more, level things up with the Cowboys perhaps. We'll see next time. So until then, see you guys later.